This episode's brought to you by the Public Domain Shop, a clothing brand inspired by classic literature and film. Use the code WOLF to get 10% off your next sweatshirt purchase.
Okay, so we saw a big,
bold,
beautiful journey.
Again, with feeling.
All right, fine. A big,
bold,
beautiful
journey.
Whatever the fuck this movie was.
It's a movie.
It certainly is. And, wow, how do we describe this?
I've got the perfect description. But do you want me to do it in this take because we're testing it? For the audio? I'll save it for the next one because we can always cut around.
Sure. Let's see.
Let's cut it and see if it works.
Okay, so Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie are two completely obnoxious strangers who meet at a wedding, and both conveniently rented from the same dystopian futuristic car rental agency run by German Fleabag and Kevin Kline wishing he had a better agent.
Now see, this movie, I have the perfect way to describe it, Tyler.
I was only halfway through, but please continue.
This is if Taylor Swift wrote and directed a movie, but only using quotes from Instagram as the plot of the film.
That sums it up
That
perfectly.
is exactly the movie. And the lead, Margot Robbie, looks exactly like Taylor Swift at all times. This is how I figured Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift fell in love.
That's the only justifiable excuse I can think of. But, that's just before their GPSs, their HAL 9000 GPS, I might add. It literally has the red dot, and Colin Farrell's name is David. So hearing this 2001 A Space Odyssey GPS lecturing to David, this is where I'm taking you. You have no choice. Just submit, which he does, like literally. A magical GPS takes these two hostage on a road trip where they have to go through these door portals that lead them to uplifting and traumatic events in their past where it all of a sudden turns into an anime version of Before Sunrise. Like, that was the vibe I got, and there were so many shots, so many elements of the story that reminded me of an anime. Never mind the fact that the musical score for this was done by Hayao Miyazaki's composer Joe Hisaishi. And I mean, great composer, and you can if you pay really close attention, you can tell that it's his music because there's a lot of soft piano melodies. But there are shots and plot components that I've seen in other anime. I mean, the constant rain as they're waxing philosophical about their romances kind of reminded me of Weathering with You. Hell, the guy who directed Weathering with You made a movie, Suzume, about magic door portals and a couple on a road trip. Which, I mean,
This movie.
the umbrella symbolism isn't from Weathering with You. I know this because they show a movie poster that literally spoils where that symbolism came from. That was obnoxious and really pretentious.
So yeah, I don't know what to do with this.
It's not good, but like the first half hour of this was like boring bad, and the rest of this was
Weird.
bonkers. Like, what the fuck were these filmmakers and this cast thinking?
So my big question for you, Tyler, is I don't think anyone's
Only one?
the big question. I don't think anyone's particularly bad. I think it comes down to a really weird script.
Oh, it's almost all entirely in the script, but I mean, there
is.
there are like lines of dialogue where, to their credit, like Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie do the understated line delivery and timing where that's supposed to try and make any ridiculous conversation they have in this seriously.
Because they're emulating like the Noah Baumbach like quirky dialogue or like the Wes Anderson quirkiness, but without any of the setup or this. But
True.
who is this for? Who is the target audience? Because it's not us.
No,
like,
and like here's the
like,
weird
are
thing.
little old ladies digging this? I don't know. Do
Oh, you mean like the old ladies who would not shut the fuck up during
they
the
probably didn't
entirety
know
of
what to
this
do with the movie?
Or, I don't know, the ladies sitting to the right of us, I could hear sniffles. I
She
wasn't
just
sure
kept
if they
crying and leaving and crying and
She
leaving.
left like 3 times.
Like, there were emotional moments, but, like,
Yeah.
you could have isolated them and put them in any film. They didn't have to be in this film, necessarily, for the character's journey.
And they're the kind of scenes that would have made you emotional regardless of how good the movie was.
It's like a really artsy Hallmark movie.
The last half hour of this is an extremely artsy Hallmark movie.
It's like if Federico Fellini was like, I'm making a Hallmark movie.
This is a movie that is trying to be a meta romance and does not know how to do it. I mean, I bring up Before Sunrise because it's one of those things where they try to bring up their pasts or whatever subjects are most passionate they are towards in life, and they wax philosophically in a way where nobody fucking talks like this.
Oh, yeah. Should we stand over a lighthouse and think?
With so many repeated sentences, like they repeat so many lines of dialogue in this. No. This isn't how. No. It's not like that. It's
the and bit in the car dealership. They kept saying and.
Oh, I'll get to that. But like, there's so many conversations that go, I feel this way. Oh, you do you? I do. And they repeat it over and over and over again. And they say stuff like, chasing the sweet Cheryls of our relationship, or some bullshit words that like film critics pull out of a dictionary to make their opinions sound deep and
This
meaningful.
is a therapist's dream to walk through trauma.
Oh, hardcore.
They're like, hey, walk through all that trauma and you'll be a better person.
Without really addressing or learning anything from it. I mean, they go for like 4 or 5 doors. No, I'm not convinced for a second that Margot Robbie has really learned that much because, God, she was a bitch in this.
They both sort of sucked.
Yeah, but I mean, Farrell, I could at least buy that he was remorseful or had learned stuff about it, because when there's a scene where, without spoiling anything, the two of them are confronted by their ex-fiancés, where we learn that they're both basically the same piece of shit, where no one is ever enough for them to be satisfied in life. And I'm not going to pretend like there aren't people like that, or their fears weren't valid or anything like that, because they do address the fact that even if you find someone you think is the one, it's not guaranteed to work out that way, which, no shit. Like, I feel people are, our generation especially, are so cynical about romance. I feel like we're accustomed to that by now. But like, even after the two are confronted about it, Farrell at least points out that's who we were. That doesn't mean that's how we are or will be in the future. But she just completely submits to the fact that she's once a bitch, always a bitch. And I'm just
Well, the movie had to go on for another 20 minutes.
Exactly.
That's why it didn't end.
Yeah, there's that about it. As if, like, the first 5 minutes stretching out, like, really awkward comedy that never comes into the rest of the movie. Like, I'm not kidding. The whole reason this movie happens is because Kevin Kline and German Phoebe Waller-Bridge basically are Big Brother mixed with catfishing.
They have a hangar with 2 94 Saturns. And you need a GPS.
And apparently, if you have a German accent, say fuck all the time. Fuck. It's funny because I say it with an accent, right?
Was it supposed to be funny? Or,
I don't know.
like, who is this for?
I don't know.
Is there someone out there like, wow, I've never seen a movie like this. This is the most perfect movie to exist. Like,
I'm not convinced for a second that A24 would even make a movie like this.
I mean, A24's made some weird stuff. Did you see Lamb? That's on the level of weirdness.
But I liked Lamb, and that actually
Lamb was
made
crazy
sense.
and weird. Or, like, you know, they've made some pretty mediocre stuff. But, like...
Well, yeah, they make mediocre stuff, but, like, at least I know what the intent behind it was. I know what artsy demographic it was made for.
Like, it's gotta be, like, some, like, reincarnation or yoga pose or some sort of religion imposed in this of, like... Because you notice how she was constantly smiling through the entire movie or something? Maybe it's Mormonism. I don't know. It's something. There's some sort of spiritual underlying message that they're trying to get across that they failed to do.
Well, there's an existence of suffering metaphor that I kind of got some Buddhist vibes towards this, where it's just like, life sucks, accept it, and look for the happy spots, which, I mean, isn't a bad message. It's just so poorly communicated. And like, the reason we went and saw this movie is that when we were in the line for Little Lorraine at TIFF, they played a 30-second promo of this over and over again, where the big draw for us was that there was this magic portal that could take them anywhere in time, and that there'd be this beautiful scenery that would, if we didn't buy into the romance or the conversations, we could at least say it's a visually arresting movie. I can't really say that about this.
The color palette was great.
Well, the parts where there was color in it, I didn't think the lighting was all that great. Like,
It was all right.
It's
Not
okay,
bad.
but I
Not
mean,
bad.
there are moments like the lighthouse sequence where instead of the ocean scenery, we just get the silhouettes of the two of them looking out a window.
That was a good
which
shot.
It's a beautiful shot, but I'm just sitting there going, you could have done a hell of a lot more than that. You could have made this so much more grand and epic, but they had to throw in this monologue about how when you're at the top of a lighthouse or at like the most beautiful section of the world, you suddenly realize that the world is suddenly more lonely and empty, which I just got back from a week in Toronto for the film festival. I certainly felt that way at the Royal Ontario Museum, but like at the same time, looking at this beautiful scenery, there was at least a moment of euphoria. Like, I saw something bigger than me that's never addressed in this film.
But now, did you stand on the edge of the earth and observe your life?
I especially love are we looking down on ourselves line? Like, we seriously couldn't fucking put that together.
Now, I will say, I thought that the musical theater sequence was the highlight of the film.
My God,
the idea of
was
having
it?
to go back and relive a terrible high school musical is fantastic.
And they somehow got licensing for the songs, and it's the most it's the most professional high school theater production I've ever fucking seen. Like,
they have microphones.
They do backflips.
Yep.
Like, there's money for the costumes. They have fucking microphones. They're walking around the high school corridor saying, hey, 15 minutes to curtain call, and I'm just sitting there going, what the
It's the only part of the movie that worked for me. Being stuck, like, how old do you look? 15. How you to look? 40. That was great.
That was such a great line.
Oh.
Especially her rebuttal, like when a high school teacher says, hey, you look 40. I'll fucking kill you.
That was the part that worked for me. Like,
Yeah,
that part was
because-
really, I wanted that to be the movie. Stuck as a 40-year-old in high school. That would be interesting.
Well, I mean, there's been way too many movies of that already.
Yeah, but
Like,
they looked 15. or
hell,
whatever
the
in high school.
climax literally references a movie like that, remember? Like, I don't want to spoil it just because...
Oh, yes.
Because that movie is so much better in comparison. But yeah, the high school flashback sequence was the best,
Good
partly
stuff.
because, one, the mythology and rules of this universe were actually addressed in a way that I hadn't seen before, where this movie doesn't have that big a budget. So, like, when they're mistaken for a 15-year-old when they're actually 40 and they're so casual about it, and I'll say this, the actors did a good job at pretending like they were a certain age or they were a different person. Like, the acting was really spot on in that one. The fact that you could do this low fantasy concept and do... This movie broke me.
Do you think Colin Farrell does his own singing because he did it in Mamma Mia? Do you think he did his own singing for the...
That's Colin Firth.
Colin Firth.
Colin Firth's British.
Wrong person.
But,
I don't know. I thought that...
I'm very curious if that was
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's own singing. If it was, I'm legitimately impressed.
And then, help me out, world. Internet. In the credits, it said puppeteers. I don't remember seeing a single puppet in this movie. And that's what I wonder most. Also, who is this movie for?
There's not even any CGI creatures to, like, stand in for a puppet's hell. They listed, like, stand-ins for Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie, and I'm just sitting there going, for what?
Maybe for the painting that they use for a metaphor to set up without them?
I don't know. It seemed...
You know, but, like, at the end of the day, this is a weird freaking movie, Tyler. This is a weird movie.
Which, not gonna lie, I wanted a weird movie, just not
Weird.
not this kind of
But
weird.
I would rather go to a weird movie that took so many swings and miss hard than a movie that didn't try at all.
And I'm not going to say that this didn't try at all, because, for one, the special effects on, like, the doors where one side is completely empty, still when they walk through, was really impressive. There are a lot of really good match cuts when they go from one portal to the next. To the point where, like, the backgrounds that they're in aren't even there. Like, the scenery they were in on the road trip was actually gone. It kind of reminded me, again, of an anime. There are some Satoshi Kon references to, like, the match cuts from something like Paprika, especially.
But I'm just glad the movie went for whatever it was, and someone is going to find this movie and love it. And when you do, tell us why you love it, because I'm confused.
Which is interesting, because there is nonstop exposition about what these characters think about relationships, what their backstories are, which, I mean, for a romance movie, the fuck was that?
A noise from the distance. It's a door open.
I don't know if
just
anyone
heard like it was like a howling scream, like in the background.
I don't know if anyone could hear that, but somebody was burning rubber like real hard.
Or it was a child with a megaphone.
No, it was a car.
I like to think all children should have megaphones.
They're annoying enough already.
Just imagine like 20 kindergartners with megaphones. My brain just doesn't care about this review anymore.
You know what? During the high school flashback, that would have been amazing if they just pulled out their megaphones and said, "You suck, I want my money back."
Man, I don't know what to do with this. And now I'm thinking about the most random things that are unrelated to the review, so you should do whatever. There's still
some random shit in it. I don't know how, but the hostage taking GPS somehow makes them hit a deer that bleeds yarn. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's very random.
Or once it explodes and their cars run out on battery, there's a sign for an inn that says, "Perfect for when you crash your car and your cell phone's battery runs out." Like, it's a fucking Looney Tunes
I fixed your car that exploded. Don't worry, it happens more than you think.
Okay. Like, give us a real car without a GPS so you can stop holding us hostage.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's one thing I realized. Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie do not have free will in what they get to decide until the last 10 minutes of the movie.
That's true.
And it's one thing to say, well, they have to confront their past actions and why it fucks up their romantic love lives. Here's my problem with that. They should have to force themselves to make that confrontation. They should not have strangers lock them in a car until they do that.
Also, like, how does intergalactic shopping work? Because, like, he brought back teddy bears and balloons and chocolates. Like, does that mean he could, like, go back in time to when he was younger and buy, like, memorabilia and bring it back in the forward and sell it on eBay, like, for an increased price in mint condition? Can he just get cheaper food? Is this door accessible for, like, Uber Eats or something?
The Back to the Future 2 almanac so he can make $1 million bucks?
Like, can you do that? Because you just brought a teddy bear through a magical portal when your clothes change where you went, depending on the time period. But somehow you could bring things back. And, like, could you save money on groceries that way?
It makes about as much sense as when Margot Robbie, I shit you not, like, goes to a hospital to visit a dying relative. And when the doctor says, "Hi, how are you doing?" "Well, I'm pretty sure I was fucking my college professor." Like, that's a fucking line of dialogue.
Typical.
That is one of the only lines in this movie that I can remember. If you're somehow still watching this, the reason we have blanked...
amazing.
You are. Like,
You're
thank
the
you.
best.
We do not deserve
Leave
it.
a comment, we'll both reply.
You do not deserve to go this far into it, but thank you. We don't deserve it, but thank you.
We have reached the top of a lighthouse and are now spouting exposition.
That's probably the reason I can't remember a single conversation in this, because it's nonstop exposition.
Oh, no. They were all like, "Hey, we're on a lighthouse. Like, did you look really at the pretty view?" "Nah, I didn't look." "Well, you should look because it's cool."
That honestly, that felt less preachy than.
And then he's at the edge of the world and he's like, "I'm looking now. Look at me. I'm Colin Farrell."
In his real accent, which somehow made half his dialogue hard to understand, which is weird. The movie I saw last week, he used his regular accent and it was perfectly fine. Like, I know I was in a 1,000-seat theater and could probably... But I was in that same 1,000 theater and couldn't understand half the lines in Frankenstein either.
I saw your review on Frankenstein.
There's going to be a longer one as soon as it
exciting.
Well, as soon as it hits theaters, obviously. I'm not just...
Yeah. I actually have something to plug today, if that's okay.
Really?
I have a short film out, Vice Versa. You can check it out. Tyler put a link in the description. The first thing I released in like 5 years. Pretty excited about it. 2 hitmen on a journey. One is after revenge. But why?
I don't know.
You find out when you watch the film.
Actually, you know what? I might have seen that short a year ago.
Yes, now it's finally out.
Oh.
Yeah, it's finally out. I dropped it 2 days ago, so I thought I would plug it. So if you did make it this far, you'll probably watch my video too. So thank you.
I'll put one of those. Maybe I'll put one of those YouTube card things. It's just like, bored of us rambling nonstop over shit we can't remember, because this movie kind of sort of gave us.
Who is this for? Whom is this for? If you want to correct my grammar, make it make sense.
Long story short, Colin Farrell did not learn his lesson after A Winter's Tale.
And long story short, if you show this to your girl on date night, you might break up. Don't watch this for a date night movie.
And if you just broke up with someone, you are going to hate yourself even more.
Yeah. We should post those fun photos now that we took.
Anyways, guys, thanks for somehow making it this far. What the fuck?
I was going to move it to you. See?
As opposed to the last 2 that we did together where we were already in the same room.
But now it looks cool because it's like you and it's promotion. I've lost interest in this video.
And so has... You know what?
Just
Fuck
hold
it.
it,
So
yeah.
has the phone that was holding up the Yeti or whatever it was.
The Yeti and the phone, they hold our setup.
The things you gotta do in this fucking car. Anyways, let us know in the comments below what you think. Please, like, help us. Please. In terms of plugging my own shit, I have a review up for the Smashing Machine the upcoming Tuesday. I'll leave it in the description. No, I won't leave it in the description. This movie fucking broke me!
Who is this for?
I don't know! This movie gave us Alzheimer's.
Not yet.
Well, assuming Him is worse than this, which
Worst double feature ever.
which was worse? A big, awkward, incoherent journey, or Him?
Him was worse.
No.
That reminds
Only
us,
time
we
will
got
tell.
a half hour before Him, so we got to
We
meet up with
do.
Noah. Be sure to like and subscribe if, for whatever reason, this entertained you. Are we not entertained? Not by this.
I am.
Check me out on Patreon, buy me a coffee, like and subscribe if I haven't already said that. I have saliva coming down in my mouth because that's the state this movie put me in. I got nothing else.
Coma.
I got nothing else to say. Fuck off. Bye.